Hi, welcome to this SQL tutorial covering an introduction to inner joins. On screen you can see I've got two selects getting data from two separate tables. Now when you are interrogating data in a database, more often than not you'll want to return data from more than one source, more than one table. If you're going to do that, you need to use an inner join, and if you're going to link tables, then there needs to be already a link between the two tables. There needs to be a column in both tables that link one to the other. So if we look at the departments table, we've got a department code here, we've got the name of the department, the profit center, and whether it's active or not. In the employees table, we've got a full name, we've got a department code here, and then an office and a hire date and such. But it's this department code column here that links this table to this table. If we didn't have a departments table, we had everything in the employees table, we would have duplication of text, of data. So next to these three here would be the words human resources, and next to these would be the words IT, and next to these would be finance. It's not very good to duplicate data. It makes databases much bigger, but also it makes it harder to kind of maintain. So imagine we had 1,000 employees in here, all attached, all with human resources linked to half of them. If we then change the name of the human resource department, we'd have to go into each of these records and change the name of the department name assigned to each of the human resources people. What we do in this case is, if we just go to the department table and change the name here, then because all we ever do is reference our department table using an inner join, whatever we change here will change to any selects that interrogate this table. Let me try and show you an example of an inner join, and hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier to understand. So we're going to get everything from the employees table, and we're going to return the data from the departments table, so that we can see for employee A what the name of the department they work in is. So we begin this by, as we know in SQL, we start with a select. What data is it? What data do we want to get? From where do we want to get the data? So there's our table, our next block here, from employees. We have a second table that we want to get data from. So in order to do this, we need to do an inner join, and then we give it our table name. Now, as I've previously said in other videos, we need to, or we should, give aliases to our tables. That makes it easier when we are dealing with them. So I'm going to give our employees table an alias of EM, and our departments table an alias of DE. To complete the inner join, you've got to say what the link is between the two tables, and you do that by typing on, and then you say em dot department equals de dot department code, and that works. I'll just comment this out. That's our join complete, and if I execute that, it returns all of our employees data there, and it also then returns all of our departments data. And the only reason it's doing it in that order is because our select is getting it in that order. Select star, first of all, from employees, join to departments. There's the employees data, and then there's the departments data. And because we've got our join on, the department code equals, the department equals the department code, this is saying employee A works for department FN01. FN01 is finance, this is the profit center, and this is whether it's active or not. And then you can see here employee D works for department HR01. HR01 is human resources, and there's the rest of the information. What you can then do, you don't have to do select star, you can then say, okay, what I want to see is, I want to see the full name, and I want to see the department name. And we run that, and that's fine. Now, if the I've done a prefix here so that the SQL knows which tables I'm going to get the columns that I want to see, but I don't have to do the aliases if I don't want to, so long as the column is unique between the two tables, it'll be fine. So if I do hire date, there is only one hire date and it's in the employees table. So if I run that, it'll get me the hire date and it's quite happy with that. But if I put in active, if I could get it right. If I put in active, it won't like that because there is an active column in employees and in departments. In which case I've got to tell it which table active I want to return. So if I do that, then it returns me the active from my employees table. I don't know why it still has a red underline, because obviously that is valid, and it works, as you can see. The final thing for this then, you can now do your where clause. Your where clause can now reference either table. So you could say where department name equals finance, or you could say where hire date is greater than That's the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful.